Hi, and welcome to East to West WLS, the Struggle Bus podcast. I am April. I am a 39-year-old woman. I live in Washington State, and I had VSG in July of 2019. And I am thrilled to be joined by all of the other ladies who are part of East to West weight loss surgery: Becca, Natalie, and Ashley. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
So if you guys are listening to the podcast, just know that if listening is not like your favorite modality of learning, you can check us out on our YouTube channel, which is awesome because we all have beautiful faces and we are very animated when we talk. So if you want to watch us on our YouTube channel, it's all of this recording and all of our past recordings are there. Just go to YouTube and search East_WLS, or just hit the link in our Instagram bio and you'll find us. So before we dive into our topics today, I would love the ladies to introduce themselves. So I'm just going to call on you one by one and just let us know your name, your age, when and what type of weight loss surgery procedure you had and when you had it. Okay. Becca, I'm going to start with you.
Hey guys, I'm Becca. I am 22, almost 23 years old. I live in Connecticut. I had VSG on October 14th this year.
Excellent. And you're rocking it. You're doing so good. You just told me, how much weight are you down?
I am down 93 pounds total.
Insane. Well done. Well done. You guys are doing amazing. So thank you, Becca, for that introduction. Ashley, I'm going to go to you next.
Hey guys, my name's Ashley. I'm 28. I'm from Kentucky, and I had gastric bypass on October 13th of this year.
And how much weight have you lost?
Altogether, pre-op and post-op, I've lost 141 pounds.
Unbelievable. And Becca, and I mean, all three of you, when I see your like side-by-side comparisons, it's just like night and day. It's just insane. I mean, your progress is commendable. So excellent. Nice work, Ashley. Last but not least, Natalie.
Hey, I'm Natalie. I had VSG surgery in September. I am 27 years old. I just turned 27. I had to think about it. And total, I've lost 96 pounds.
Oh my God. So I just, it's amazing to me. And I had this conversation actually earlier with somebody within our community. She was talking about how, you know, she had just done something and she's like, who am I? Like, who is this person? And my response to her was, you're the same person you've always been. You just have more capacity to like be you. And it's so true, right? I think we could all say like, we really haven't changed that much, but everything about us has changed in like the best possible way. So as always, I'm thrilled to have to know you ladies, and I'm beyond thrilled that you guys are part of East to West. And I know that today's Struggle Bus episode is going to be on point for so many people in our community. So today we're going to talk about stalls, what we do when we feel like we're just going through the motions, and then dry skin and brittle hair, which it's the winter time now, and we're all feeling the effects of that. So this is going to be perfect. All right, you guys, you ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Okay, our first topic. Stalls. This is, I think, the number one question that people ask. They absolutely lose their minds when they stop losing weight, 2, 3, 4 weeks out of surgery. And then stalls can be experienced for your entire duration of weight loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a conversation that Jason and I had with Wendy, she really highlighted She highlighted for us the difference between a stall and a slip. Right? And a stall is what happens when you are doing everything right. So you're getting in your macros, you're getting in your water, you're taking your vitamins, you're moving your body, you're getting good sleep, right? You're kind of doing those 8 things like that we call the Berry Boss things, right? To kind of be the boss of our recovery. So if you are doing all of those things and you have the evidence that you're doing all of those things, then you know that you are really in a true stall. But if you have collected evidence and you are not doing all of the things that you are supposed to be doing to lose weight, it's what we call a slip. You have just slid your way out of weight loss and you were kind of in a danger zone. So, I mean, I know some of you guys most of you are pretty fresh out of surgery. Have you guys experienced any stalls yet?
I had a time where I've gained, but I haven't had a stall per se.
Okay. So maybe that's another important thing to highlight too, right? Every week our weight can fluctuate tremendously. I think Becca, you just posted a graphic on social media. You were down like 3 or 4 or 5 pounds in 1 week, right?
This week I was down 6, but the other week I was down a couple ounces.
Okay, right. So that highlights something so important, is that our bodies are constantly doing this. They're subtracting, they're taking away, they're trying to figure out what the F has happened since we've had weight loss surgery, right? So not only is our physical body trying to adjust, but our brain is also trying to adjust. And that is, I mean, that's like realigning the planets in a lot of different ways. Right. But it's super important to know that experiencing these ups and downs and experiencing a stall is completely normal, right? It's like nothing to panic about. It's nothing to freak out about. When I was 6 months out of surgery, I had a 2-month stall and I was stuck at 80 pounds lost. And I got so frustrated and I wanted to just punch my fist through walls because I knew and I had the evidence that I was doing everything right, but I was stalled. Nothing was happening. And after a lot of conversation with Wendy, after a lot of data tracking, it just truly was a stall. My body had to figure out what was going on and it needed to get used to my new normal. And Wendy and people in this community and my surgeon all said the same thing: stay the course. Do not deviate from your plan. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Just live your life and figure out how to maintain your current low weight. And based on where I was at the time, both my surgeon and my doctor said, you're going to lose more weight. Just, it's okay, right? You're not done yet, but just stay the course. And I did for 2 whole months. And then finally I just plummeted and now I'm down 120 pounds. So beyond frustrating, but knowing that this is normal can be super powerful. Natalie, have you experienced any stalls or?
Yeah. So after surgery for the first like 3 weeks, I was losing consistently, pretty high numbers, 6 to 9 pounds a week. It's pretty normal for the first couple weeks. And then I had a really horrible menstrual cycle. I was bedridden for a week, basically. I wasn't really eating and all this. I was losing a lot of liquid from my body. And that week I lost like 10.5 pounds, which was like scary. I don't recommend that. But the next like 2 to 3 weeks, I was, you would gain or lose like the same couple ounces, like throughout those 3 weeks. And it is really frustrating because you're like, what am I doing wrong? I'm eating all the things I should. But my doctor and my aunt, who's also a nurse, said your body's not only been through this traumatic surgery, but then you had this traumatic menstrual cycle as well. Like your body's healing at this point. Like
Yes.
You have to let your body heal in these first 3 to 6 months. And then once your body's healed, then that's when it really takes off. So.
And that's so important to also take into account as women. We have so many other things going on in our body physiologically every month anyways, right? Even if it isn't necessarily our time of the month, we are constantly in some state of cycle, in some state of flux. So when our weight stalls, right, when we see these up and downs, it's important just to take a step back, take a deep breath, and really kind of look at the data that we have, right? And a lot of times when people reach out to me about stalls, my first question always is, well, how much water are you getting in? What's your protein? Are you taking your vitamins? And 90% of the time people respond and they go, oh, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Like how? I don't understand how you don't know. I mean, I do understand. It's because you're not tracking. And that's where tracking becomes a really critical component to our recovery. Because for years, right, we were able to just say to ourselves, oh, I'm doing everything right, or I'm not eating that much, or I'm not doing this, because we never tracked it. So we never had any evidence of it. So when all of a sudden something pops up and we're like, oh, I wonder what's going on. If you're not actually tracking your information, you have no evidence to either support or deny something. So my question to all of you ladies is, what would be your number one piece of recommendation for people who are experiencing a stall? And mine, I just kind of covered. Track. You have to track your information so you know if you are in a stall or if you have slipped. So what would be your pieces of advice? Ashley, what would you recommend?
Well, other than tracking, I would recommend just being vocal. Speaking about your struggles and just talking to other people about their experiences, because it can motivate you to meet your goals.
That's a super great piece of advice. Yes, that often goes overlooked. Absolutely. Excellent. Natalie, what about you? What piece of advice would you offer?
I would say, reflect back on maybe the last month and just see like what, um, what has happened with your body, maybe, like a menstrual cycle, or maybe it's been really stressful at work or something like that, and kind of reevaluate your habits, reflecting back on maybe the last month, and then seeing what you can do from there.
That is excellent piece of advice. Yes, super powerful. That is something that often goes overlooked, but reflecting is important, as I'm learning because I'm journaling. All right, Becca, what would be your piece of advice?
So all three of you hit really good points. I think mine would be definitely fluids, making sure that to track your fluids and get your fluids in. I noticed that when I'm focusing on my fluids and getting my fluids in, I am dropping 6 pounds a week. This week I was really on my fluids, making sure I was getting them in. And I noticed that, like, obviously the scale didn't drop just like 2 or 3 pounds or a couple ounces like it was a little bit ago. But I had a huge drop.
And that is, yes, beyond powerful, right? If we are not hydrated, if we're not getting in, our protein and our water, nothing's going to work right. And we know that that's already a struggle in this community. People ask all of us all the time, oh my God, how do you get your water in? And it's right. We always say you have to keep it with you. You're sipping all day long. But the other thing too that I think people don't realize is you can get really creative with your water and your protein, right? You can drink clear protein, or you can have hot tea, or right, your protein drink, if it's pre-mixed, the first ingredient's water. So just because, you think, oh, I'm not sipping, 70 ounces of just straight water, that doesn't mean you're not getting in your protein. So if you're really struggling with that, or excuse me, your water. So if you're really struggling with that, look at the types of protein that you're consuming and see if you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. So for those of you who are watching us, just real quick in the windows, you guys hold up what is sitting right next to you, because I guarantee, I knew it. Everybody's got something. I love it. Cheers, ladies. All right. Our next struggle, and it's coming straight for me. So I have really been struggling because I feel like I'm just going through the motions. Things are feeling kind of very normal, or I'm just feeling like I'm doing things because I feel like I have to do them. So I would love your feedback. How do I get out of my funk? Because I hate feeling like this.
For this time of year, especially with the holidays, maybe make your food and your drinks more festive. Hot chocolates and stuff like that, or like different holiday recipes.
I am definitely looking forward to our hot chocolate happy hour. That is going to be like the highlight of my week. And I have noticed that my home is very festive, and I am trying every day to take a moment to be grateful for all of the beautiful, things that are decorated inside. My husband's worked so hard on the outside of our home. But that's a really good point, Ashley. Yes, that definitely has helped lift my spirits. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say for me, oh, sorry.
No, yes, please. What do I, tell me.
I try to get outside, and I know that you live by a beautiful beach. I try to get outside at least 20 minutes a day and just not be looking at my phone, just put music or a podcast on and just kind of step away from my environment. My place is very small. It's about, my living room is like maybe 400 square feet, like it's tiny. And I sit in here all day. So changing the scenery, just getting away, stepping away from work or something like that really helps me.
That's you said two really interesting things that it just dawned on me. I love listening to podcasts. The Minimalist is one of my absolute favorite podcasts of all time. I have not listened to a podcast in, I think, 2 months. And it just dawned on me like, oh, I'm actually really kind of missing that. And the other day when I did finally get 30 minutes to run down to the beach, I worked on my phone the entire time. So I never feel like I'm actually getting away from work. And it was kind of funny. Stella, my dog, in her own way told me like, what the hell are you doing? You're supposed to be here at the beach playing with me or just enjoying your time. And I was not. In fact, she knocked the phone out of my hand into a hole that she had dug in the sand. And I was like, that's probably a sign, but I really need to answer that. So, okay. Point taken. Becca, what do you got for me?
I think that reaching out to somebody would be a great. I know you talked to Wendy, but just like talking about it and realizing what's going on in your body, what's going on in your head, which you do a lot of, is a great way to just figure out what you personally need to do.
And I did talk to Wendy about that in my last session with her. And she had asked me, well, what is your morning and your evening routine? And I just laughed and I was like, I get up and then I go to bed. Like, I don't have a routine. And I've read The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, I think is his name. And I very much appreciated everything that was in that book. And I did his like 7 things for about a month. And I really did enjoy them. And I think I did feel a little bit more grounded. My struggle is that I can't take an hour every morning to do that. I mean, I could if I could drag my ass out of bed at 5 a.m., which, as you guys know, is not my forte, since I usually work until like 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, Wendy's suggestion was you need to get a morning and an evening routine, and you need to make it work for you, which is what we're always talking about, how trying different things, figuring out your own recipe. And Natalie has that gratitude journal that you enjoy so much, and I purchased it and I've done it 3 days in a row now. And it is very interesting having to reconnect with myself at night, because I've only done it 3 days, but when I look at the morning, it's like, oh, I forgot that I was even going to focus on that. And then I get to the end of the day and I was like, oh shit, I didn't really do that as well as what I thought I did. But even though it's hard to sometimes find things to be grateful for, I can always find things to be thankful for. And then just that reflection, just that 5 minutes to check in with myself has definitely helped a little bit this week. And then of course I reached out to you guys and asked you what I should do there. So, okay. I like it. I'm feeling a little bit inspired, feeling like I need to make some changes, like go back to the beach and not take my phone.
Leave it at home.
Yeah, leave it at home.
Yeah, that's I like how you guys both were like, leave it at home. Yeah, because you know me too well. It's gonna be like somewhere in my car, or I'll forget it in my pocket. Yeah, I don't want to do that. All right, well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate that. All right, and our last struggle for today. At the Struggle Bus Live last night, Becca and Ashley were with the community, and they said that people kept talking about their dry skin and their brittle hair. Yeah, we're all going.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Feel that
Oh
all
my God.
Season.
Oh, dude, it's just like, yeah, the season, and I think it's a combination, right? The winter months just wreak havoc on our normal systems. And then on top of that, we're experiencing massive weight loss, which leads to all kinds of other fun things. So are there things that you guys have noticed or tried that have helped your skin or your hair?
I haven't had any luck with anything as far as my hair, but I use the CeraVe moisturizing cream that comes in the jar instead of the pump, and it's thicker. So if you apply that when your skin's still moist, like after a shower, it really helps hold the moisture in, and it's not as dry.
I learned a little tidbit the last time I had a facial, and my esthetician said, well, the real point of moisturizer is actually not to like penetrate your skin. It's to create a barrier on top of it so that the moisture that's already in your skin doesn't escape out. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. So as soon as I learned that, it was like, oh, so that kind of is the point of lotions. And that's the point of moisturizers and creams, is that, right? Some stuff that you will penetrate deep, but then really it's just there to make sure that something doesn't get sucked out of your skin. And I was like, oh, that's fascinating. So any other tips? Anything else you've tried?
I personally don't really struggle as I put lotion on. With dry skin, no, like my skin is really actually besides my hands, because I'm constantly washing my hands, my skin hasn't really been dry. I have dry lips, so I just apply Carmex like all day, every day. Um, but I I actually just switched because like every month I like to switch up my body soap smell. So this month I got the Dove Dry Skin. So that's been working wonders for me. I feel like my skin has not been dry because of it.
Oh,
Yeah. I
that's
think
pretty good.
body soaps are definitely a reason on why your skin can be dry too.
Yes, I have found
Mhm.
that as well. Yeah. Natalie, have you found anything that's helped or worked for you?
So as far as hair goes, I was talking to my friend who's actually a like hairstylist, and she said, a lot of times we can work on our ends, but with us losing weight so quickly, it's a scalp issue. So I've been using this like scalp oil, and I use it as like as I'm deep conditioning my hair, and then I just wash it all out. And I've noticed a little bit of a difference. I wouldn't say like on the fallout or anything, but definitely with like the strength of my hair has started to get a little bit better.
Mhm.
Um, and then as far as like dry skin, my lips this week, I'm like tearing them up because they're so dry. And I just found this like stick. I got it at Target. It's basically just like cocoa butter, and it's like a thicker, it's in like a white tube. I can post it later, but it's like pure cocoa butter, and it's just called like a swivel stick, and you just can put it anywhere,
That's all.
and
Yeah, it
it's
looks
helped
like
a
a glue.
lot.
It
Well,
looks exactly like a glue stick.
Yes, it looks like a big old glue stick. Yeah.
I had no idea. Well, that would be nice too, because like if your elbows get dry, like anywhere that
Yep.
you need a little like something, you could just, oh,
Yeah, you just, yeah.
I'll have to Amazon wish list it.
that's a super good
Yeah,
idea.
it was like $5 to $10. It's tiny, like it was very affordable, and it's really helped with my lips. And also at night, I put Neosporin on my lips.
That was a trick that my grandmother taught me when I was, I don't know how,
Me too.
yes, yes, it's okay. So it's totally
Yeah.
a generational thing then. Okay, yes. I too, dude, this week especially. So Natalie and I, we live kind of in the same neighborhood. I mean, we're like Western Washington. Becca and Ashley we're West Coast and they're East Coast. But it's funny you should say that, Natalie, because this whole week my lips have felt like they're on fire, and all I'm doing is like I do like sugar scrub on my lips, and then I've got my lip treatment, and then my Vaseline. But it's not like working as it normally does, and I think it's just the weather. I mean, it's winter, everything's dry. I mean, even though it's been raining, it's a totally different feel here. So our skin and our hair, it's all going to react kind of, to whatever the weather's doing. So I have to give a little bit of grace there.
And I will say, if you're struggling with like dry, cracked feet, if you get the cocoa butter, the Palmer's cocoa butter, and mix it with a little bit of Vaseline and put your socks on immediately afterwards, your feet will be softer the next morning when you wake up.
Hmm. That is an
Yeah.
excellent tip. Yep. It's almost like a little heat spa for your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Treat
Yep.
yourself. I love to treat myself to pedicures.
Treat yourself, girl. That was the best episode of The Office ever. Treat yourself. One of my closest friends, she and I, we have a treat yourself weekend. We go down to Portland for the weekend and just do whatever the hell we want to do. We go to shows, we see all this kind of fun stuff. It's the best weekend ever. But it's important to remember that sometimes, yes, we do need to treat ourselves to things that are making us feel good. Well, and especially when it comes to our skin, it's the largest organ in our body. Now that we have lost weight, it's almost like we realize, oh, I actually have skin and I should probably take care of it. So I think just the fact that you're even more aware of it as you lose weight, and then you realize, oh, I've never really taken care of it. So now you're trying to play a little bit of a catch up. The weather changes, your hormones, your pH, all this stuff is kind of changing. So there's a lot going on. I found two products that I absolutely love. One of them is a locally made product, but I use it as a deep conditioner in my hair. And it's also the best body lotion, even though it's not really a lotion that I've ever found. It's called Booda butter. It's made in Bellingham. They ship all over the place. It's all natural. It's got coconut oil, jojoba oil, all these fancy oils, and it's kind of it's like in a solid state. So it's soft, but it's so rich. It's so luxurious. It's so creamy. What I'll do in the morning is that if I'm showering in the morning or if I'm showering at night, I will just get a whole bunch of it and I'll just slap it all over my head. And same thing, Natalie, I get it way down on my scalp. It just doesn't feel natural, but I just let it sit there for maybe 5-10 minutes. And then I got to double rinse my hair and do my condition. But if I do that more often than not, my scalp and my hair feel wonderful pretty much all the time. And then of course I use that on my body. It's just magnificent. But the other product that I'm absolutely in love with, and I've been using it consistently for about a year now, it's made by a company called Osea. It's out of California. It's like a seaweed-based product, but this is a body oil. So I keep it in my shower and I've got a little routine. So when I'm done showering, I just kind of shake myself off. I squeegee down my walls and all that stuff. My shower is like 36 square feet. I mean, it's freaking huge, right? So I have to spend 5 minutes cleaning my freaking shower. But then when I'm done with that, I put on the oil, the body oil, and then it just sits on my skin all day. And it is phenomenal. And really, since I have been doing that, I've noticed a big improvement in my overall consistent skin health. It just always looks nice. It's always soft. I never feel like I'm extra dry. My hands get dry for the exact reason that you'd said, Becca. But yeah, once I really started paying attention to my skin and using, natural quality products on it, it really seemed to resonate well. So I would highly recommend those products as well, because you're not having a good life if your skin and your scalp are itchy. That's not fun. Not fun. And we don't want to feel like our hair is a broom. That's not enjoyable either. So awesome. Well, I think we did it, friends. I love it. I'm pretty impressed. Woo. I know. So we mentioned a lot of products in this show, and I would love to link them in the show notes. So if you guys are listening or if you're watching, head to kind of the homepage of this. And if you read the show notes and scroll down to the bottom, we'll make sure that we link everything that we talked about today if you want to also check out those products or try them. And then, of course, if you do try them and they do work for you, let us know. Or if you have another product recommendation, you should also let us know, because the whole point of this community is that we learn and grow from each other. And if you're using something and it might benefit me, I would like to know what that is. So please always feel free to pass along your recommendations. Awesome. I love it. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. I love these quick, powerful, meaningful, to the point conversations. We just get in, get out, find solutions, and support this community. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, same time next week then? Is it a date?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right, you guys. So East to West Nation, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting us. And just remember, you've got this and we've got you. See you soon.